Hey, hey! How's everybody doing? Just listened to a few tunes trying to get everything set up. So I wanted to give, sorry that's a little bit loud. I wanted to give everybody a chance to hop on. I'm so excited about this class tonight. I'm going to just let the music play. I'm going to get my thing set up. And if you're hopping in the event, just go ahead and say, hey, introduce yourself. Love to know who was on. I love this song. I was just watching Trolls with my daughter the other day. It was so cute. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Hey, hey, people that are hopping in. This song just makes you want to dance. How about anybody else? All right, I think that's all. How'd you guys do today? Did you have a good day? It's almost Friday. It's awesome. Hey, Stephanie. I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited to teach. Love teaching classes and just educating people. So I'm glad you're here. Okay. Hey, everybody that's hopping in. I'll get started in just a few minutes. So go grab some last minute things if you need something to write with, or some water to drink, or some hot tea or something. I'd love everybody to say hey that they're here and joining in. Your connection keeps freezing. I don't know. Mine seems to be fine. I would hop off this and then hop back on, and maybe that would fix it. Is anybody else having issues? I could start it over, but sometimes it just depends on your connection. If I'm not having issues, so lots of times if I just keep going, it ends up being fine. Hey, everybody that's hopping in. Hey, Danielle. I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight and share some great information. Love teaching about essential oils. You're fine. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Hey everybody. I'm excited to get this series kicked off. Lots of you have probably been to a class maybe in person. Hopefully you'll learn something new tonight. I learned something even when I listen to other people teach. So just glad that you're here. I am super excited about the other topics though. Lots of people are very interested in those. That's why I chose them. And so hopefully you will gain a lot from that. Got a piece of hair sticking up back there. All right, we'll get started in about 30 seconds. Let me post in the group that I'm live, and then I'll go ahead and get started. I have to turn Justin off. Has anybody seen the movie Smurfs? I just went and saw it with my my family. It was so cute. Okay, we have about 300 people in the group so far, so I'm excited for that many people to just be able to learn more, to kind of come together, even to get their questions answered, to kind of almost build community for this week and a half that we'll be going through this. So I'm excited to even add more people. If you're on live and you know somebody that you think would love this information, you can add them to the group and they can watch the recording, and then they can watch the other classes live, or obviously they'll be recorded too. So if you're jumping in, go ahead and say hey and just introduce yourself, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. At any time through this, you can post a question, and if I don't answer it right then, let me turn my music off. If I don't answer it right then, I will go back and answer it whenever I can, or somebody else. Feel free, if you're in the group live, if you're on the broadcast live and you know the answer, just go ahead and answer then. Your video is completely frozen. I don't know why. I would say to just hop back off and hop back on, like get off the video and get back on. I'm sorry you're having those issues. I don't seem to be having any on my end, so the recording should be fine, so I'm just going to keep going with it. So I wanted to first off just tell you a little bit more about me, and then we'll jump into kind of the meat of the class. I'm going to actually cover a little bit of something different than I normally cover on a basics class. I'm going to cover more of the supplements and some of the other products. So and definitely can answer any questions that you have about some different issues. So if you have those, go ahead and post them, and I will definitely refer back to them. And also, I've got my handy little resource book, and I'll talk about some great resource books at the end of the class, but we can definitely look it up in that and kind of learn together how to use the book. That's always a good thing to do. Lastly, if your video is frozen, try to hop off and hop back on and see if that fixes it. Hopefully that will do it for you. So, I wanted to tell you just a little bit more about me and about how I kind of got started on my journey and how I ended up here with all you lovely people. So, obviously you know my name, Carrie. So, I have been a part of the essential oil lifestyle and with doTERRA for about, I guess, a little over 4 years. I started in February, was 4 years ago. So, I've really had some great experiences then. I've really grown so much since then. And so I wanted to share a little bit about that with you and about how I actually got started. And I'm sorry that y'all's videos are freezing up. I don't know what to do about that. Not frozen here. Thank you. I'm not sure. Sometimes Facebook is not, it's not kind. So I guess you'll just have to go back and watch the recording. I really do apologize about that. So, kind of how I got started. Now it seems like you see all these people that are having classes, and everybody seems to be really excited about learning, which is awesome. That necessarily was not the case when I got started. I kind of had to dig around and sort of figure things out on my own, which was, a little bit more challenging. I found somebody that I was following on social media, and they are the ones that kind of introduced me to essential oils. I did not get to attend an in-person class or even an online class. So it was just something that I kind of had to figure out for myself. I didn't know anything about essential oils. I didn't really use them at all prior to starting with doTERRA. A lot of people, especially now, they've probably used some other brand or are more familiar with them now, most likely when they get started. So that definitely wasn't the case for me. I had to start from scratch. So if that's you, then that's great. I'm so glad you're here, because there's definitely nothing wrong with that. And personal experience, a good resource book is really what you need. You just need to dive right in. So I'll kind of guide you through how you do that. So once I got them, I was kind of looking at my kit thinking, what do I do with these? I don't have a clue how to use them. But, I started digging around in resource books. I started using them for everything and realized very, very quickly that they worked for almost every single thing that I tried them for. And so obviously, probably like many of you, most of you probably have at least tried essential oils, and many of you, know and love them. You know what I'm talking about, right? When you use them and they work and it keeps happening, it's just like, it's not a fluke, right? You think, is this really possible? And we'll kind of discuss how it's possible, but yes. So even 4.5 years later, it's still possible. I still have experiences every day that surprise me, that make me just in awe of how powerful essential oils and how effective they can be. So long story short, that's really kind of my journey. I didn't have a lot of ailments before. I just really wanted to decrease my toxic load. But boy, did it just to kind of redo my health. I didn't even know that I needed redoing, honestly. But when I look back, I was tired, I was stressed out, I was, couldn't sleep very well. I had issues that I didn't even know I had. So it's interesting how God knew that He had these for me to help with those issues, and I'm so thankful that He brought them into my life when He did. And so that was a little bit about how I got started. Obviously, I loved using them on my child. I had a 9-year-old daughter at the time, and really that's probably why I got started. That's what the push was for. And so really enjoyed using them on her, feeling really safe about using them as well. I think that's very important as a mom. I felt this different sort of empowerment. I felt like, I wasn't so helpless whenever she had a sniffle or a cough or a cold or a high elevated body temperature, something like that. You just feel helpless. You want to be able to do something for them. And so I really felt like that feeling was, going away. I could feel that, diminishing. And so it's just a great feeling having the tools that you need and feeling empowered as a parent, especially as a mom. And so that's really why I'm so passionate about these. I feel like every mom needs these in their toolkit. Even if you aren't a mom, obviously, and just as a woman, I feel like they're so beneficial. So really love. Hey Betty, thanks for joining in. I really love just using them on myself, but other people were interested. They wanted to know how and why, and they needed this education because there was just none, and so people kept looking to me. So I had to kind of take it upon myself to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and just decided to start teaching classes, even though that was a very far stretch for me. Even though now I've probably taught over about 200 classes by now in the 4 years. But, it didn't start out that way. But now I love it. I love educating people, and I will always do that because I feel like it's so important. So that's kind of how I ended up here, and how I ended up being, just loving education. That's why I created this group. I'm really excited to share with you guys some great things that I've learned along the way, some things that maybe have worked for other people that, that I'm going to share recipes and different things like that. So really excited to be with you guys over this week and a half period. So wanted to jump right in. So I wanted to discuss a little bit about why you're hearing so much more about essential oils, why they're more popular, why people are turning to them more. Then we'll kind of go into what they are, how they work, and then kind of go on with the class, how to use them and the different ones and things like that. So why are you starting to hear more about essential oils? A lot of people think that it's just a fad, just like, you see, different, people talking about clothing or bags, or I've seen people talk about these special toothpaste. I'm not really sure about that. Those are probably more so fad. You hear about them and maybe you don't hear about them in a couple months or years. And maybe some people think that's the same with essential oils. But honestly, these have been around for thousands upon thousands of years. These are what people in biblical times used. They're what people around the world already use, but Americans are a little bit behind on that. We think we can take things into our own hands and kind of do things better. And that's not always the case, I don't think. I think sometimes we overstep our boundaries just a tad bit. And we need to really think about what God has given us to use to take care of our bodies. Food and, rest. He told us to rest. He's given us these beautiful things in nature to use. Like I said, obviously we eat things in nature, but, essential oils come from nature. And so getting more back to living like that, it's just better for us. That's the way we were designed. And so that is why on so many, on such a big level, I connected with essential oils, because I knew that God had given them to us to use to take care of our bodies. That really struck a chord with me. And I knew He brought them into my life for a reason. And so, people are starting to realize more so that they really are very useful in so many different ways, but also just therapeutically to our bodies, rather than running to the doctor, or rather than, having to try synthetic things first. We can actually turn to these first, and most of the time we can support our body and allow it to heal itself. I mean, that's what it was designed to do. So people are starting to realize that more. I'm so sorry that you guys, this isn't working for you. I don't know. I'm so sorry. The recording should be fine. If you're having problems, I hate to tell you this, but I guess you might just have to listen to the recording. It'll be up right after I'm done, about 9:30 or so. So I really apologize for that. But what was that? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Oh, okay. So another reason why people are more interested in essential oils, obviously, people realize that maybe all the things that are in our food and all the things that are in our... Okay, that was real quick. Marissa said that it's not working on her phone, but it's working on her laptop. Not sure about that either, but you might want to try your computer or your laptop if you can, maybe even your iPad. So just a word to the wise. Thank you, Marissa. So Another reason is that people have tried something else and they've realized that maybe that's not treating their body as well. You know, maybe they've had side effects, or maybe it hasn't worked for them. So it just depends on kind of where you're at. You know, for me, it was just that I simply knew that I wanted to take the natural route. But some people get to the other point and they kind of have to turn around and go back, you know. So either way, people are way more interested in natural solutions, which is amazing, because truly, you know, I just see them work every single day, and I see how beautifully your body can run and function on what God has given us. And it makes me so excited that people are they're eager to learn more. And so again, that's why I love doing this. So that's kind of why people are a little bit more interested now, and you see them more. You know, it's not a fad. I definitely don't think it's fad. It's a lifestyle, and that's what I treat it as. You know, it's just a part of my life. I don't think it's a cure-all, end-all, be-all. I think you have to take care of your body in other ways, you know, but I definitely think it's a very, very key tool in doing that. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about what essential oils are, if you don't know. So you may be more familiar with herbs that you've seen on the store shelves, which now essential oils are kind of in that section, but they haven't always been. You're probably more familiar with seeing herbal things in a capsule probably. So what the difference between those is that an herb is the entire plant powdered down, and the essential oil is actually known as the lifeblood of the plant. If you were to look at a zoomed in picture of a peppermint leaf, it actually has oil sacs on the outside, and that's what the plant uses as its natural defense from bugs and different things in the environment. So just like they can, you know, the plant can use that as their defense, we can also use that as our defense. And so what they do is they take plant material like, you know, peppermint leaves, lavender, flowers, twigs, berries, different things from nature. So they take that, they put it in a steam bath, and that releases the essential oil when it rises to the top. And that's what they kind of skim off, per se, and they put in the bottle, and we can use for, you know, for whatever we want to use it for, all these different things that we'll talk about. So, you know, when they do that, you can see how much plant material will probably have to go in there to get a very small amount of essential oil. They're very concentrated, and so they're about 50 to 70 times stronger than an herb. And that is exactly why people kind of maybe try natural things, and they want to go the natural route, but they don't see the results that they want, and so therefore they think natural things don't work. And I've heard it several times from so many people, you know, I've tried that and it just doesn't work. And I'll ask them, you know, what have you tried? How did you use it? And normally it's that they just didn't use it as often. They were inconsistent with their use, something like that. So it's definitely a different mindset from if you're used to using synthetic things. Synthetic things stay in your body longer because your body is trying to figure out how to break them down into useful parts. If you use an essential oil, your body knows exactly what to do with it right when you use it, and so it's going to be used up quicker and put to work quicker, and it's going to work better. And so if you kind of look at it that way, you can understand about why, you know, you would need something, you know, you wouldn't want to take so much of that herbal supplement to see a result. I mean, you know, 1 drop of essential oil, peppermint oil, is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. I don't know many people that would sit there and drink that many cups of peppermint tea if they had some stomach upset. You know, that's one of the main things that peppermint is good for, especially tea. So it's just that people want to see a result. Obviously, if you have head tension, if you have your stomach hurts, you kind of want it to go away quickly. You know, that's one of those things, and so that's why people are so drawn to essential oils. I just remember when I first had when I had my first headache, and I looked up what to use it for, and I saw peppermint, and so I took some peppermint, you know, kind of turned the bottle over my finger, I rubbed some right here on my temples, and within about 1 or 2 minutes my headache was completely gone. So you know, people see that, and you know, you want results like that, obviously, and it's so nice to be able to support your body and give it what it needs, and then it, you know, your head is not hurting anymore. So it's just things like that that really, really draw people to this type of lifestyle and having these tools on hand. So a little bit about that, you know, that's kind of like why people are starting to use essential oils, what they are, and let's talk a little bit about how they work in your body at a very high level. Obviously, this is like organic chemistry. It can get very in-depth, but at a high level view, the way they work is, you know, when you use them, we'll talk about the 3 different ways next. When you use an essential oil, it gets absorbed, whether you breathe it in, whether you put it on your skin, or you take it internally, it actually gets into your bloodstream. And that way it can affect every cell of your body very quickly. And just like when you eat raw food, something fresh, you get energy from that. Your body can use it right away. It doesn't need to break it down into usable parts. And so, same thing with essential oils. That's why you see your results so quickly, because your body knows exactly what to do with it. Just like when you eat that, broccoli or that, spinach salad or whatever you're eating that's fresh, your body is like, oh, that's nutrients. I know exactly what to do with that. I don't have to break it down. And so that's kind of how they work in your body. Also, essential oils are very, very tiny molecules, and so that's why they can get absorbed very easily, and they can interact with your cells so quickly. It's because they have that structure. And again, that kind of goes back to the organic chemistry piece, which I find very interesting. But it's those different structures that the cells can recognize and kind of use, and that's how essential oils work in your body, essentially at a very high level. So I love that piece of it, though, because I am a pharmacist, obviously, and we studied that a lot in school, and so it's very interesting to me. I think I'm going to come up with more of a scientific based class for those that are interested in kind of diving deeper into that. So it's super cool, though, to see all the ways that essential oils can work in your body. It's actually quite amazing. Okay, so I wanted to do something really quickly with you, something that's fun. I love to do this at classes. So actually, if you have peppermint in your home, go grab it really quickly, and you can do this with me. So once you get your peppermint, you're going to put 1 drop, which I don't know if I have 1 drop in here. It's almost empty. I'm just going to put some on my palm. So I want you to rub your hands together and do what we call cup to inhale. So you just kind of put your you can't really see it, right? Put your palms together, put your hands together, and cup over your nose and mouth, and just inhale a couple of times really, really deeply. And I'm telling you, you'll feel so awake and refreshed. And if you've never done that, it's so just revitalized. You just feel invigorated. I would also encourage you to get a little bit of the residue from your palm on your finger and just touch it to the roof of your mouth, and then rub the excess on your shoulders and your neck. And I can tell you, you will feel so alive, so awake. If you're hot, you may even start to feel tingly, and we'll talk about why in just a minute. But I wanted to just show that demonstration because that's the 3 different ways that you use essential oils. So you can use them aromatically, just by inhaling them. You can use them topically, just by rubbing them on your skin, or you can use them internally. It's kind of how we did it with in the roof of our mouth. So you might even feel like your breath is fresh. You're just feeling really awake. So peppermint is amazing. I wish that you guys could smell this, and I hope maybe you have some at home that you can do that little demo with. So the 3 different ways to use essential oils. Obviously, the first way that we talked about was aromatic. And this is one of the simplest and the fastest ways to get use and to kind of feel the effects of the essential oils, because they get, once they're in the air or in your hand, you kind of cup them to your nose, they go straight to your brain. And that's kind of what affects your mood and your emotions and your senses and all of these different things. Even your blood pressure and your hormonal balance, all of these different things that you had no idea that it was affecting just simply by breathing in an essential oil. It's really, really neat. And so that's one of the easiest and fastest ways to get those effects, is to use them aromatically. So that's great for a really quick pick-me-up. So if you like peppermint in the morning is great, or if you're like having an afternoon, you're kind of feeling tired, use some peppermint. But probably the biggest way I love to tell people to use them aromatically is at night to support sleep. It is amazing what, people will come to me and they're like, I put lavender on my feet and maybe it didn't do what I wanted it to do. And so I'll say, do you have a diffuser? Make sure you put some in there. And they'll come back and say, okay, that did the trick. Because it actually, when you breathe that in, it allows your mind to calm down. It calms down your nervous system, and it really just allows your body to shut down the way it needs to drift off to sleep. I'm sorry that you guys are having issues. I really apologize. Really quick, if you're new to this broadcast and you're having issues, try logging out and getting on another device like a computer or an iPad and see if that will work. If not, the recording will be up as soon as I'm off and you can watch it right after. I do apologize again. Gotta love technology. That's just kind of something you're the mercy at if you're doing something online, so I apologize. So, using them aromatically, that's probably one of the easiest ways and quickest ways is just to put them in the palm of your hand and inhale. But obviously those benefits are not going to last that long. So if you wanted extended benefits like at night, or if you had respiratory issues, or like just say during the day you wanted to cleanse and purify the air, getting a diffuser is a great thing to have. And I always encourage people, especially when they're first starting, to get a diffuser, because it's just really an easy way to get the oils in and around you and those that you love in your home. So using a diffuser is very easy. So I've got one back here. You just simply take the top off, and you would fill it with water up to the line, or whatever you know which one you have, and then you would drop probably 3 to 5 drops of essential oil. Then you would put the top on, plug it in, and turn it on. And they would either run for 2, 4, 6, 8 hours. You know, some run up to 10 hours. So a great way to get, you know, those extended benefits, and at a very even level, because let's say you put some in your palm, you're going to get probably a lot of benefit right away. But if you wanted some over an extended amount of time, like say you were sleeping, you would want to do it in a diffuser, because that's just the best way. And a diffuser simply just puts a fine mist into the air, and the essential oils will actually stay suspended in the air for some amount of time, probably about 30 minutes to an hour. And you get those benefits. It's cleansing the air, it's maybe purifying it and getting, you know, germs or whatever might be in the air. You know, it's actually cleansing that too. So it's just a great way to use essential oils, and probably one of the most popular and easiest ways. Also, replacing candles is you know, you can't beat it for that. You get all these benefits and none of the toxic, you know, fumes from candles. It's just one of the best ways, and you know, a lot of people only get started because of that, and then they realize, holy cow, these can do everything. And so it's interesting how it gets started that way. But that is aromatic use in a nutshell. So the next way to use them is topically. And this is also, to me, I find it's a very easy and convenient way to use essential oils. And I remember when I first got started, and you know, I didn't really know anything about them, and people kept saying, you know, I was on a group, and we were, you know, maybe asked, how should I use lavender for sleep or something? And they would say, just put them on the bottom of your feet. And I just didn't really understand how to, you know, why or how they worked. And so the bottom of your feet is actually a great place to put them, because there's such large pores on the bottom of your feet, and there's so many of them. And that's, you know, it's a great way to use them topically, because you can feel the benefits very quickly. You know, if you put them anywhere on your skin, just like you put anything else on your skin, most of the time it's going to get absorbed and go in your bloodstream. That's why it's so important to think about what you put on your skin. So, you know, other like perfumes or scented lotions or different things like that. I mean, hopefully most of those that are on, you know, and watching something like this and are interested in essential oils, you know how bad fragrance is for you, and those kind of synthetic, you know, things that they put in lotions now. It's crazy what they can get away with, and they're probably number one for women is they're messing up our hormones, which then in turn messes up almost everything else. It's crazy what all, you know, your hormonal balance can control and mess up. So try to stay away from those. Try to use some essential oils, because, you know, when you put them on your body, not only do they smell great like a lotion would, like, you know, smell good lotion, but they're going to give you all of these different benefits by applying them topically. So the bottom of your feet is a great place. And another, you know, great place I like to put them is on my wrist, because you have thinner skin there, you have blood vessels right there, and so, you know, I guess a good many blood vessels. So it's going to get absorbed quickly there. And also I like having the ability to be able to like get the aromatic benefits too. So if I put some on my wrist, lots of times I'll just kind of hold them up and smell it. So every so often you can smell it just by using your hands or whatnot. So that's another great place. On children, another good place is to put them up and down their spine. I find that's very convenient, definitely during the day. Most of the time you can get to their back and just apply it up and down their spine, and it gets absorbed well there too. So other than those places, you could just put it where it hurts. So you could put it, you know, if your head hurts or your neck, or, you know, you have a sore muscle, you have a upset stomach or something like that, you could simply apply some carrier oil, such as like coconut oil, put it directly on the area that is not feeling well, and it's going to get absorbed and get to that area quicker, most likely. You know, even if you take it internally, it's probably going to take a little bit longer to get and actually get into action, rather than if you were to just put it on topically. So I always recommend, especially at stomach ache, I find Digestin, and we'll talk about that one in a minute, is just so effective applied topically. you can feel it working in a couple of minutes. And I remember, using that one for the first time and feeling the effects and thinking, wow, that works so fast. And it still does. I mean, I'm surprised all the time about, even though I've been using these for a while, still, they still surprise me. So, topical use. I wanted to talk about safety really quickly because it is very important. You see these things online, and there's a lot of scary things that you see, honestly. There's people that get burns from essential oils and all of these other things. I don't really go out there and look at all that stuff, but I know there's people out there, and there's posts, and people ask me sometimes, can this actually happen, blah, blah, blah. Number one, we'll talk about, why doTERRA in just a minute, but even with a great trusted brand, you really need to practice. You can't just use these recklessly. They are very potent, not that I think you're going to drop over dead, but honestly, you could have, if you apply a topically apply citrus oil and go outside, you're most likely going to get burned, especially if you stay out there for a while. I mean, there are certain things that you need to know and use them safely. I always advocate safety, because I just feel like some people are very reckless, and it's just with anything, it's just not a good idea. And so I like to tell people, start out slower, start out with less, and you can always add more. So very simply, how do you dilute an essential oil? So you would take some coconut oil, whatever carrier oil you wanted to use, and you would just put some in your hand, just maybe a dime size amount, a couple drops. And then you would just put 1 drop of essential oil, kind of maybe rub your hands together and apply it wherever you wanted. That's an easy way to do that. Or you can take an empty, like a roller bottle, and you can take the cap off and fill it with with carrier oil, coconut oil, and then put the essential oils inside the bottle. And then there's a little top that goes on, a roller top that I don't know where it's at right now. You could put that on and then just simply apply it like that. You don't have to get on your hands and mix it every time. So a lot of people love to use those. But, just make sure that, especially with kids, they have more sensitive skin. They don't need as much essential oil. Their body is not as big as ours. If you have a very sensitive skin as an adult, just make sure you start out with less, because I would just, all you're really going to experience most of the time is redness, burning, maybe itching. And that's just a sensitivity. That just means that it's too strong. So if you get that and you just didn't apply carrier oil with it or whatnot, you would just want to apply some over the top of that. Don't put water on it. That's going to drive it in deeper. And once you put the carrier oil, it's going to just kind of disperse it, and it should go away very, very quickly. How many drops of an oil in a roller bottle? So it just depends. I know that's not a really good answer, but it does depend on who you're going to use it for. So this was used for a young infant. You might only put 5 drops of essential oil in a 10 ml roller bottle and fill the rest with coconut oil. If it was an adult, you might put more like 15 or 20 drops in here. So it really does depend on, which oil, what age, kind of what you're going to use it for. So that's probably, a good estimate on amount of drops per the carrier oil. So that's really mainly topical use, kind of, why you would want to use it topically, put it where it hurts type of thing, and how you do it, and then using them safely, obviously, is a really big deal. So next on is internal. And I wanted to pause really briefly and talk about, why I chose doTERRA and why it's so important to choose a trusted brand. So just especially when you have all of these, other companies, and you have all of these opportunities now to go out and get essential oils off the store shelf. We're seeing them everywhere now. And that's because companies try to cash in on what is popular. Essential oils are popular now. And they just, like I said, people are more interested in learning about natural ways of taking care of themselves. And so just like if, there's these superfoods like blueberries, let's just say blueberries, and you see, all these packaged foods with blueberries in them, and you think, oh, that's more healthy because it has blueberries in it. Well, you would be really surprised to know, probably, if you've never researched it or never really read anything on it, that most of those things have actually no blueberries in them. And that's kind of the same thing with essential oils. These are not regulated by the FDA, and so it's a huge area, gray area, that, you just don't know what you're getting a lot of times, especially if you're not familiar with a company and you're just kind of getting them from wherever, and you're, using them even topically or aromatically, or maybe in your cleaning products or whatnot. I mean, I'm just so excited when people are interested in essential oils and want to use them, but I really do feel like it's important to know, what brand you're using and sort of why it might be better and worth your while to look into the different ones a little bit more, not just try the first thing. So, doTERRA really realized that, and that's why they wanted to create a certain standard. That's why they go to such lengths that they do to ensure that when you purchase a bottle, this is only pure essential oil in it. Because the FDA does not regulate these, you can get buy them off the store shelves. They have to have a small percentage of the actual essential oil in that bottle to be labeled 100% pure. I know that shouldn't be right. A lot of things shouldn't be right? So same thing with that. It can be really a lot of things in that bottle that you don't really know what are in there. Do I want to use that on myself? No. Do I want to use that on my family, my young kids? Absolutely not. I want to get and make sure I know and feel comfortable that every time I apply lavender to their bug bite, and it's going to be the same. It's going to have the same result. There's not going to be any sort of rash that develops, any sort of skin sensitivity, adverse effect like that. You just want to be sure about that, especially when you're using them on your kids. So, speaking of that, that's why doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world. It's because they take their standards so seriously, and people can trust them. People want to purchase things and use them on their family that they trust, purchase from a company that they trust. So I wanted to tell you the 3 top ways that I feel like separate them from other companies, and why I chose them, and why 4 million other people, probably 4.5 million by now, they did too. It's not like Verizon. It's not a monopoly. You can buy whatever you want to. It's not like you have to buy a certain one just because of a certain reason. You have your own free will, but I do feel like it's important to know why so many people choose doTERRA. So number 1 is where they source their oils from. So like I said, these are very concentrated. So obviously it's going to matter a lot the quality of the plant when you're thinking about concentrating it down so much and putting it into a bottle. And 1 drop is all you need. That's super concentrated. So just like things in nature, they change. They're ever changing. So to me, it's almost actually amazing that doTERRA can ensure that every single bottle of lavender that you purchase is going to be the same as the one before. That's because they take such great care in where in the world that they grow the plants, and even the farmers, and they just, every single step of the process, they are right there. They have high standards. They will throw out a whole batch if it's not correct. It's just all these things that you hear. It's actually amazing, the standards that they have. They're well above and beyond anything else. And a lot of times people ask me, are these organic? And it's actually beyond organic, because even the organic, like what we know as labeled like USDA organic, there's not anywhere near the rigorous standards that these go through. So just a quick note on that, because a lot of people are interested in why these aren't labeled organic. Once they get these from around the world, most of these people, these farmers, are really struggling. This is the only way they can make money. And they're not getting paid a fair wage for their crop. That they're living in poor conditions. And when doTERRA comes in, they really want to take care of the people. They value what they do. They know that hardly, there's only a handful of people in the world that can grow the best lavender or the best lemons. They know that, and they value that. And so they say, what do you need from us? Do you need support in schooling or housing or running water or different things like that? And so they go in the community, they actually just rebuild it, and they pay them a higher wage for their crop. And it's just a beautiful thing to know that when you purchase a bottle of doTERRA essential oil, you're actually helping people around the world make a living and provide for their family. And not only are they getting benefit, obviously we're going to talk about how many ways you can use lavender for your own benefit and that of your kids. So it's just something that is a beautiful thing, and that's why another reason why I feel like doTERRA is set apart in that way. The third way, and I'm going to wrap this up quickly because I know I could just go on and on about this, but the third way is testing. To ensure that they have these rigorous standards and it's the same bottle every single time, they have to do testing to ensure that. And so actually a couple of these are third party. That means they cannot skew the results. And with such competition in this this industry, People are all the time trying to cut corners because they want to do it faster, they want to do it cheaper, all of these things because they want to make more money. You can't do that when you're thinking about concentrating something down as much as you have to concentrate a plant down to the actual essential oil of the plant. So it just doesn't work when you cut corners. And so many other companies do. That's why they do this testing, because if somebody were to say, you know, this bottle of lavender is not, is contaminated or whatever, they can go back to this actual batch. They have a bottle on a number on the bottom of the bottle, and they can say, no, here are the results. Here's all these testing results, you know, this is pure lavender. Just things like that. No other company is going to do that. And so that's exactly why so many people know and trust and use doTERRA. So that is, in a nutshell, of kind of how doTERRA is separated. So the last way to use essential oils, and then we'll go into how to use individual ones, and then I'm actually going to talk some about the supplements tonight because we'll have a little bit of extra time. So internal use. Definitely would not want to go get something off the shelf and use it internally. I am only referring to doTERRA essential oils, so I'm talking about using them internally. I would not trust any other brand. So using them internally, probably the biggest way that I like to use them is in my water. And so many other people love to use them in their water as well. Probably for a lot of times for the sheer fact that they taste great. I mean, a drop of lemon in your water, some wild orange in your water is just amazing. And so it really helps a lot of people get off Cokes and different things like that, which is probably one of the best things that you can do. So putting them in your water, great for just drinking more water, but think about all the other benefits that you're getting. Lemon is super cleansing to your body. It's going to help get out all the toxic things that we put in there that, you know, our body tries to kind of trap away and kind of, you know, make it function better. It's going to kind of help clean out all that and really get us on a better path to increase health. And a lot of times, even myself included, I got them just because I wanted to make some cleaning products and maybe help my daughter's immune system so she wouldn't get sick as often. Little did I know that my body was super clogged with, you know, I thought I was healthy, but started using them slowly. And I mean, the health that I have today and the way that I feel today does not compare to what I felt before these. And so that's why I call it the gateway to better health, is because you start putting lemon in your water, I promise you soon, you're going to think that those packaged foods do not taste as good. You're going to want to start turning to better things for your body. It just happens. I've seen it thousands of times. So that's why I will continue to talk about essential oils, because I know how powerful they can be. Just not, yes. Danielle said, do not use Citrus Bliss in your water. I just taught a class for her last weekend, and she was like, I love Citrus Bliss in my water. And I was like, you're not supposed to use that one internally. So she's not using that anymore. She's fine. She's good. That's a great segue. Thank you, Danielle. If you were wondering if you can use them internally, you can look on the side of the bottle and you can see a supplement facts box. And that is what is going to let you know if you can use it internally, if it has one. If it does not have one, let me pick one. Let's say Breathe. You can't use that one internally. It's simply not going to have that box on there. So, you know, that word to the wise, if you're ever wondering, just look on the bottle, or the side of the bottle. So, putting them in your water is a great and easy way. Putting them in a little veggie capsule is a great way to use them. So, it's just an empty capsule that you pop the top off of, and you put essential oils in there, and then you can pop the top back on. And then you can just take it like a regular pill, and you don't taste it. So using them internally is a great way to support your body on a deeper level. Say you had some sort of, you know, chronic issue. You felt like you were coming down with something. You had just, you know, you just felt like you kind of needed to bump it up a notch. That's exactly why you'd want to turn to internal use. So, you know, there's so many great uses, ways you can use them internally, but in a nutshell, that's why you would want to use them and how you would use them internally. So, wanted to segue into some of the most popular oils. We'll talk just my top 2 ways on those, just so we can keep it super simple. And then we're going to talk about some of the other products. And then that is going to be it. If you're on live, you definitely want to stay on, because I've got a great giveaway over here that I'm going to give to somebody that is on when I get done with the class. So make sure that you stick around. Okay, the first one that I wanted to talk about, since we already talked a little bit about it, we'll go over it really quickly. Peppermint. So, you know, if you've never experienced peppermint, it smells simply amazing. I mean, it just smells so fresh and clean. I just can't talk enough about how much I love peppermint. I love to use it just to wake up. It's great for stimulating your mind to work better. It actually brings oxygen to your cells, so that's why your brain kind of just feels like you just kind of turned it on. It's because it just has extra oxygen going to it. That increases alertness, it increases mental acuity, mental sharpness, so that's a great reason to use peppermint. It brings down core body temperature, and that can be helpful if you're under the weather or if it's simply hot outside, if you have hot flashes. So those are some great ways and reasons to use peppermint. Okay, so the next single oil is lemon. And lemon is just, it's so bright and fresh. I love to use lemon in my water. It tastes amazing. Just like, you would squeeze a lemon in your water. It kind of, obviously it's the same thing, but side note, a lot of people know that lemon, the squeezed lemon can actually damage the enamel to your teeth. And so that's why a lot of people don't like to drink it in their water. But lemon essential oil is not made from the juice of the fruit, it's made from the rind of the fruit. So it's actually not acidic, it's basic, which is good for our body, because most of the things that aren't good, processed foods and different things like that are actually acidic to our body, which causes disease. So you want to turn to things that are more basic, vegetables, different things like that. And so lemon is actually basic, so it helps to kind of offset that acidity of your body. Oh, Robin, I'm sorry it won't play for you. Yes, it will be posted after I'm finished. And I may wait, since I'm having problems about the giveaway, I might just wait and do it maybe at 10 o'clock, give people a little bit of time. And, because I don't want to leave those people off just because they couldn't see the live. And I apologize for that again. Okay, so, one more thing about lemon, sorry. So lemon is great to clean with. It's one of the best things that you can have in the kitchen. It's going to be your little best friend in the kitchen. So you can clean grease with it, you can wash produce with it, you can clean the windows with it, you get stains off, you can get sticky things off, and the list goes on and on and on. So lemon is going to be your best friend for anything cleansing in your body or in your house. A real quick side note, if you drink lemon out of a container, you want to make sure it's stainless or glass, because lemon can break down chemicals, especially lemon in particular is very, very good at that. So you definitely want to make sure that you don't put it in plastic, or it's definitely styrofoam. It'll eat right through styrofoam. Next up is lavender. And this is an interesting one because so many people have been exposed to lavender, but a lot of times it's synthetic. And any synthetic fragrance most of the time gives me a headache. I don't know if you guys have felt that, but it almost all the time triggers a headache. And I was a little bit skeptical about using essential oils at first because I didn't know if it was going to trigger that for me. But obviously we know these are a lot different than synthetic fragrances and have so many more benefits and work with our body. So it's interesting when people smell lavender, pure lavender, they are like, wow, this didn't smell like I thought it was going to. But it's a wonderful scent to me, especially when you get used to it and know and love it. So this is the oil that you want to use if you need something calming, whether that's your mind, whether that's just your nervous system at night to go, get a good night's sleep, whether that's your skin, you have a burn or a cut or a scrape or a bug bite. I mean, lavender, I think it's the #1 single oil that they have. Simply probably because there are probably thousands of ways to use lavender. Honestly, I always, probably pull out my lavender if something comes up and I just don't want to go to my book or I just want to try something real quick, I'll pull out lavender. Some of these essential oils have, they're called constituents. So some have, just a handful, and some have a lot, like hundreds. And so lavender would be one of the ones that has hundreds. And so that's why it can work for so many different things. So lavender is going to be your go-to for anything calming, like skin, mind, anything like that. So another great way and reason to use lavender is that it helps with itchiness, and it just helps kind of calm down if you have seasonal symptoms, itchy eyes, different things like that, because it's a natural antihistamine. So you can use this one along with peppermint and lemon, and it's called the Seasonal Blend. And you can buy that in a Tri-Ease capsule. It's like a pre-made soft gel that you can take internally. or if you wanted to put some in a little roller bottle, that's one of the blends I always keep mixed up in a roller bottle is the lavender, lemon, and peppermint, because it seems like we have to use it all year round now because we have itchiness and stuffiness from things blooming, or just I don't know what anymore. Just just like lavender. It's just you just use this all year round because we just have those symptoms. So that's definitely a popular blend, lavender, lemon, and peppermint for seasonal symptoms. Okay, so the next single oil is Melaleuca. And Melaleuca is tea tree oil, so you may have probably heard of it before. And it is great for cleansing as well, like lemon is, but it has a lot more like antibacterial and antifungal properties, so it's great for cleansing like the bathroom, or if you had like a cut, it's going to like have that antibacterial effect on it. Also really great for acne, that skin issues. It's very, very, I just lost the word, safe, like not safe, it's not, don't you love that? It's good Lord, I just lost the word. You don't really have to dilute this one as much. This is going to be one of the ones that is not a hot oil. It's not going to be one that you have to worry about. It's definitely very soothing to the skin, so it's going to be one that you most likely can use neat or without diluting it. So a lot of people love to just use some on the tip of their finger and put if they have a little spot come up like a blemish. It's really going to help with the bacteria on your face, and that's why it helps so much with acne. Maybe harsh, I don't know what word, it just went right over my head. I think there's been some comments coming in, but I'll go back and answer those so I want to get y'all out of here in an hour. That was my goal. So also any kind of skin issues like dandruff or itchiness, with your skin, and like psoriasis and different things like that, a lot of times Melaleuca is really, really helpful for that. So frankincense is next. Frankincense is the king of all oils. It has been for centuries because it's another one that has so many different constituents and different ways that it can work. It's very, very good for inflammation. So it's going to help decrease the overall inflammation in your body. And that's what all disease starts from. So that's why so many people love to use this one every single day for overall health, just increased health. It's great for brain inflammation too. So, Alzheimer's, dementia, different things like that. It can be very helpful in supporting your body in kind of dealing with those issues and maybe just preventing them as well. So using this one daily is a must for me. I love to use it every single morning right after I brush my teeth. I have it right there so I don't forget it. And then another thing, it's great for skin because it helps to increase the collagen production in your skin, and it helps with, fine lines, wrinkles, age spots, different things like that. It can be really helpful. So putting some in your moisturizer is a great thing to do. Right when you get your oils, you can go ahead and start using it that way and get some great benefits from it. Okay, so quickly we'll talk about 4 different blends that are very popular. Digestin is the digestive blend, and this is the one I mentioned that is great just to put right on your topically right on your stomach whenever you have some issues. It's a blend, so it has several different oils in it that are just great for all kind of digestive issues. So peppermint and ginger and fennel, and it covers a wide range, so that's why you can use it if you have gas or bloating or constipation or diarrhea or nausea. So many different things. This is your go-to for that. We use a lot of this in our household. Just, it's amazing how many things come up, just so many different issues. I could go on about that. My daughter's always like, give me the Digestin. So it's one we use all the time. And how awesome to be able to give your daughter a roller bottle and say, here, just apply it yourself. Like, she knows which one it is. She'll go in there and do it herself. Like, talk about empowering our kids and teaching them a better way. I mean, yeah, that's definitely a whole other class. I could talk so much about that and how great it is. So Deep Blue is the next one, and it's called the Soothing Blend. So it's great for tired muscles, overworked muscles, tight muscles. I love to use it on my shoulders a lot. I just feel like as a woman, we carry all of our tension right here, and so it's great to use, just topically. Just give yourself a little mini massage. You could also put it with some Epsom salt and use it in the bathtub at night. Great way to soak. I actually might go do that right when I get off the call. Love to take Epsom salt baths with essential oils, and Deep Blue is one that I use a lot in there. So around that time of the month also, I'll put some on my stomach and my back, and it really helps. If you have some really deep-seated issues, you could put the Deep Blue on. You could put a hot rag or towel on top of it and sit there for, 10, 15 minutes. And I promise you, you'll feel like brand new. Okay, so second to last is Breathe. And this is a respiratory blend. And this is great to use topically for cough, congestion, respiratory issues. You could also put it in the diffuser at night. Say you had you had a child that just kind of struggled with some crudiness and kind of settling in his throat or his or her throat. It'll really help to keep that open and keep him or he or she not coughing and not keep you up at night. So it's definitely a lifesaver for that. They actually make a Breathe stick, which is it's kind of in gel form, and you just kind of put it right here on your chest. So that's something, kind of a convenience product, but it's really great to have to use on kids. And then they have these Breathe drops. And these are awesome. These are fairly new, and I know you're used to kind of using, Hall's cough drops. I mean, basically that's just candy. These actually have essential oils in them that are going to help open up your airways and help keep you, less congested and just feeling better if you're struggling with something, whether it be, allergies or a cold or something like that. So that's Breathe. Last but certainly not least, it does smell amazing, Betty, is On Guard. And this is the top selling blend that doTERRA has, and for good reason, because there are oils in here that have such a high antioxidant component to it. It's just amazing what they do for your immune system and for your overall health. Clove and wild orange and eucalyptus and rosemary. It's just a beautiful blend. It smells a lot like cinnamon, so I love to diffuse it anytime, but especially at Christmas it smells really good. Kind of has that Christmassy vibe to it. So this one is what you would want to go to if something was going around your household, you didn't want to get it, you would want to increase your immune system and hopefully fight that off. Just every day, I feel like kids going to school, there's so many germs, so you could actually just apply it to the bottom of their feet before bed or in the morning and just kind of help their immune system work better. You can clean your whole house with this one oil. So easy to get natural cleaners into your home and get all the synthetics out. So that is probably, the two top ways I feel like to use On Guard. They actually also make these throat lozenges that I just grabbed when I was grabbing those Breathe drops. These are my favorite. They taste so good, and they have On Guard, but they also have like myrrh and melissa in them that are going to help if you have a itchy, scratchy throat. They're going to help numb it with the clove and the On Guard, and then the other oils are going to help kind of boost your immune system to kind of fight off whatever is causing you to have the sore throat. So love having those. They make laundry detergent. They make a toothpaste. So lots of great products in the On Guard line. Okay, so I have 5 minutes to talk about my favorite supplements, which is going to be hard. But I didn't want to not mention these because I just feel like with this class being the basics, these are the basics. Like, obviously essential oils, awesome. Like, love to use these just, for things that come up and to increase my overall health. But, I feel like you're really missing out if you're not taking a supplement pack. This one is called Lifelong Vitality Pack, because these are foundational to your health. Absolutely every single person, obviously excluding kids that can't take them yet, can benefit from these. Whether you need more energy or more focus, or just, you have different issues, aches or pains or whatever it might be, even mood. We'll talk about, in our mood class, mood wellness class, we'll talk about how important this is to support your emotional health, which you might not realize. We'll talk about kind of the why behind that. But real quick, this is the supplement pack that doTERRA has that everybody raves about. You've probably heard somebody talking about it for good reason. I'll go ahead and talk about the 3 components of it real quick, and then I have 3 other products to talk about, and then we're done. So, first one is called the Microplex VMZ. And some people want to know what they look like, so I was just going to show you one real quick. It's a capsule, and this is the multivitamin kind of component of this supplement pack, and it's going to have all your fruits and vegetables, and much like you would see probably on any other multivitamin package. But the way that this one is different is it's powdered and put in this capsule in a way that your body can actually use it right away. So instead of having to break it down into usable parts, it's going to be, it's kind of like it's almost like in liquefied form. Like whether if you put in like chunks of food in your body or liquefied food in your body's going to take a little bit longer to try to break down the food that's in chunks and kind of get it liquefied to use it. Well, this is already, it's kind of like just an injection. You know, it's kind of an injection of fruits and vegetables because your body can use it right away. And that's why you feel better when you take these. And you can kind of notice when you don't take these. That's the thing that I noticed first. Next component is called E-omega. And this is, it actually has essential oils in it, but it's an omega complex. And a lot of people don't really realize, myself was included in this, that especially if, you know, you're a woman and you've recently, you know, kind of been through the whole childbirth thing, if you have kids that are young, if, you know, this is probably the top reason why people go through postpartum, because they've done studies on this, because your body is depleted in omegas, because your body needs omegas and fats to function, especially for hormonal balance, because that's the building blocks of hormones is fats. And so if we're not giving our body what it needs, it's going to be off balance no matter what else we do. So this is probably one of, well, they're all important, but this, I felt like I really felt the benefit from this the most, because I used to get brain fog and I used to feel just, you know, I just didn't feel my best, honestly. When I look back, I just felt worn down all the time. But definitely my focus, I would get headaches in the afternoon, and it was because I wasn't giving my brain what it needed to function. So that's exactly what this does. Obviously, it's good for heart health as well. So that's the second component in that pack. And then the third is the Alpha CRS. And this is called Cellular Vitality Complex. And it has a lot of different ingredients in it that really helps to help your cells be healthy. So different things that we do to our bodies, you know, stress and putting different things in our bodies and on our bodies, it breaks down our cells and it damages them. And so over time, that can lead to things like cancer and different diseases that you hear a lot more about. That's because we're not taking care of our body. We're not taking care of those cells and helping them stay healthy. And this whole pack does that. But this one in particular really, really helps the mitochondria production as well, which is going to help with energy. And that energy and focus are probably the top two things that I saw and can tell a difference when I started taking these. So that is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And then very quickly, top three of my other favorite supplements that I really just feel like you need to know about. First one is Terrazyme, and these are digestive enzymes. And never heard of these before, but saw that doTERRA had them, kind of asked around and tried these. And what these do in your body is they help your body break down the food that you eat and put it into usable things that your body can get the most benefit from. So especially if you eat something that's processed or harder to digest, you know, your body probably is not going to get the most benefit from that because it's going to take so much to break that down. So this is going to actually help speed that up and help break it down in a better way. I love this, thing that they do with oatmeal. They make 2 packets of oatmeal, exactly the same. They kind of let them sit so they're hard. They put Terrazyme in one of them and stir it up, and it's actually like liquefied in a couple of minutes, probably like 1 minute. So that's exactly what it does in your body. It helps to liquefy the food so that your body can assimilate it. So love to take those with heavier meals and just support my body's digestive system. Speaking of digestive system, PB Assist is probiotics that doTERRA has, and these are a little bit different than regular probiotics. And you know, everybody pretty much knows now why you need one. So this little pill is put together in a way, it's really neat. I don't know if you can see it right now, but it's kind of have like a little liquid effect to it in there. It's called double encapsulation, and that allows the actual probiotics to get to where it needs to go in your body. So most probiotics are killed in your stomach, and they can't actually get to your intestines where they need to go. And so that's what PB Assist does very well. It's made to survive the harsh environment of your stomach and get down there to where it can benefit and kind of flourish the good bacteria. So that's PB Assist. Love to take one of those with my evening meal. And then last but certainly not least is phytoestrogen. And phytoestrogen is something that I didn't know about for a long time, but was studying, trying to get my hormones balanced when I wanted to get pregnant with my son, who is now over 2. So it was a while ago, but this is simply amazing for balancing your hormones. And like I said, balancing your hormones is something that can, if they're not balanced, it can affect your entire life. I mean, all aspects of your health. It's quite amazing what they can mess up. So taking the supplement for me is something that I've been without it and I've been with it. And I'll tell you, I won't run out of it again, because I actually ran out a couple of months ago and could completely tell a difference in my mood, in my cycle, in the the severity of it, the length of it, how I felt during it, just amazing. So this actually helps to balance the estrogen in your body. And most of the time when our body is off balance in hormones, it's because of our estrogen. Things that we eat that aren't good for us have fake estrogens in them that actually mimic estrogens in our body, and it throws the balance off. And so this helps to rebalance our estrogen, and that can help to balance, obviously, the other hormones in that kind of system. So this, for me, is definitely a non-negotiable, and I feel like for all women, it can be so beneficial. So I take 2 of these every single night, and that's it. 3 minutes over, so not too bad. I hope that you guys enjoyed this first installment of our learning group. I feel like I covered a lot of information very fast, so if you're still with me, I wanted to mention a reference book, because you're probably wondering, how am I going to know how to use all this? I didn't take good notes. I can't remember all this stuff. So me either. It took me a while, and it definitely took me looking in a book like this a lot of times. So very beneficial for looking up different ailments and different oils to know what they do. So I recommend everybody having one of those books in their home. Second book that I found extremely helpful is called Emotions and Essential Oils. And obviously we'll talk about this one a little bit more when we do our emotional wellness class. I think it's up next. It's next Tuesday. So we'll talk about this more in that, but it's a great book to have around just to see what all emotional benefits each essential oil has. Okay, so I wanted to mention that just because I know how overwhelming it can be. Okay, so if you're still on, I want you to comment and just say that you're here, because I'm going to do a giveaway tonight. And like I said, since I had some difficulties and people were having issues getting on and couldn't stay on, I'm going to probably extend it to about 10 or 10:30 maybe even, because if somebody watches the class in its entirety, they won't be done until 10:30. So if you're watching the recording, go ahead and comment that you're or that you're here, sorry. I'm so used to adding people to this group and they comment and say I'm in. Okay, so what you're going to get tonight, whoever I pick at random, is going to get first one of these little, it's called an introductory kit. It has lavender, lemon, and peppermint in it. And that's a great way to kind of just get started with oils, or obviously if you already use them, you can kind of replenish your stock. So I had one of these and thought somebody could benefit from that. I'm also going to give, in that little package, 2 empty roller bottles so you can make some of your own blend. And one of these little nifty using essential oil beginner guide books. So this it's almost like sort of a really mini version of the Essential Life book that I was talking about. So somebody's going to get one of those with this. And then this is kind of something you could put on your fridge that I made. And it's like essential oil safety and tips. So I was going to include one of those in there as well. So somebody will get that as a little giveaway I'm doing. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm going to do a giveaway each time I do a class. So whoever's on live that night, I'm going to do a giveaway then. But also anybody that's on every single time that I do a class that's on live, I'm going to do a giveaway for all those people, kind of like a grand prize at the end of this little series that I'm doing. So hopefully you can come back and learn a little bit more about emotional wellness and about how to incorporate natural things as a busy mom. A lot of people love that class. Don't miss that one. And then natural cleaning is another popular one that I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about how easy it can be to take something like a little bottle of lemon and just clean your whole house with it. It's crazy and it's so easy. So I want to make it really simple for you and give you some great ideas on that. So thank you guys for joining me for the first class in this series. I hope you learned a lot, and I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. If you're watching the recording, thank you for sticking with me, and I'm excited to kind of bring some more of these topics and keep it going. So thank you guys. See you later. Bye.